Sometimes you can't beat the classics, but you can reimagine them. The Logitech G502 Lightspeed takes one of the company's most loved gaming mice, and makes it lighter, faster, and wireless. The mouse is specced to the gills, with support for the company's PowerPlay charging mouse pad, and even a bit of RGB lighting. Design and comfort. If you've used the original G502, or G502 Hero, then you already have a good idea what to expect here. The look and feel of the mouse hasn't evolved much since it was first released in 2014, and for good reason. The G502 is easily the most popular. There's definitely a sentiment of if it's not broke, don't fix it, so this version is big on internal upgrades, while leaving the external design unchanged. The G502 is a beautifully angular mouse that blends sleek curves with touches of gloss against a matte shell. It lends the mouse a futuristic look that would feel right at home in the world of Cyberpunk 2077. Its ergonomics feels similar to my beloved Logitech MX Master 2S, which is my daily driver at work, yet the slightly narrower body allows it to work well for both palm and claw-gripped gamers. Having never used the original G502, I was struck by just how comfortable and natural it felt in my hand. A good mouse should feel like an extension of yourself as it translates your movements into the game, and this is a perfect example of that, at least for my mid-sized hands. Fingertip gamers might find it a bit too heavy though. At 114 grams, it does manage to come in 7 grams lighter than the G502 Hero, but it's still one of the heaviest in Logitech's G line. The Logitech G903 Lightspeed, for example, is close but still 4 grams lighter. That said, that modest extra weight is clearly by design, and offers a nice alternative to the current trend of sub 100 grams gaming mice. You can even customize it to be up to 14 grams heavier by fitting optional weights into a hidden compartment surrounding the sensor. While a lightweight mice, like the 80 grams G Pro Wireless, have some appeal, I personally found the G502 Lightspeed to be about perfect for my taste. It's lightweight enough to glide effortlessly across the hard and soft surfaces I tested with, but heavy enough to offer excellent control. The mouse features a total of 11 programmable buttons. Apart from your standard left, right, and middle mouse click, 2 more are positioned to the left of your index finger. The mouse wheel itself tilts left and right for 2 more inputs, and below that, is another programmable button underneath the mouse wheel clutch. I first mistook it for a DPI selector, like on the G502 Hero, but pressing it now displays the battery level via 3 indicator lights along the left side. Below those lights are the forward and back thumb buttons, as well as a sniper button, which will lower the DPI as long as it's held, which was great for lining up long-distance shots in PUBG performance. With 11 programmable buttons, the G502 Lightspeed is equipped for any game. It has the basic form factor for a first-person shooter, and it worked great when I played Overwatch. It was fast and responsive, and the DPI button, near where my thumb rested, let me take precise aim at opponents. Those extra buttons along the side are also opportunities to customize for MMOs, to load up lots of spells. The Hero sensor, with the 16,000 DPI sensitivity, and the 1000 Hz polling rates, provide plenty of options for gamers, and makes it great for both shooters and strategy games, especially when you assign DPI adjustment to the buttons. And while I didn't notice any lag while using the Lightspeed, you can always connect the detachable cable, if you're worried about that kind of thing. Going Lightspeed. The G502 Lightspeed employs Logitech's new signature Wi-Fi wireless technology, also called Lightspeed, which allows for sub-millisecond lag. Even when pushing the sensor to its maximum 16,000 DPI at a 1000 Hz polling rate, I didn't experience a single reporting issue across a handful of games, including shooters like Apex Legends and The Division 2. The wireless experience really feels complete when you pair this mouse with the PowerPlay charging pad. Not only do you not have to worry about charging, but the pad doubles as a receiver for the Lightspeed signal, so you can unplug the adapter, and free up a USB port. Everything connects in an instant. In short, the Lightspeed allows you peace of mind around all the issues that using a wireless mouse normally adds to your PC setup. Hanging at the G-Hub. Logitech's configuration software is one of my favorites. It looks good and is easy to use. The G502 Lightspeed runs on the Logitech G-Hub software, which lets users customize DPI, control backlighting, and program all of the mouse's buttons. The software is pretty straightforward, and you can even program a secondary set of commands known as G-Shift. You'll have access to these whenever you hold down a button of your choice, and I found that the sniper button is a good choice for this. You can store as many profiles as you like, which can be organized and set to activate when you launch a specific game or app. You can also store 5 profiles in the mouse's onboard memory, so you can carry them across devices. Gaming. This won't surprise anyone who's played with a Logitech G mouse within the last few years, but the G502 Lightspeed performed flawlessly in games. Thanks to the large amount of buttons, this is a very versatile mouse, that's suited for just about any genre of gaming. As such, I tested the game with PUBG, Battlefield 5, The Witcher 3, and World of Warcraft. Though the mouse worked great in every game I tested it with, where it really seemed to shine was with first-person shooters. In PUBG, the sniper button really came in handy as I lined up long-distance shots. In Battlefield 5, the above was true, but the faster pace and fluidity of the game really benefited from how smooth the mouse glided. The combination of well-balanced weight, ergonomics that fit my hand like a glove, a DPI I was able to dial in just right, really did make the mouse feel like an extension of my arm. I felt more accurate than I ever felt with my G Pro Wireless, which I still consider an excellent mouse, but the G502 felt more in control, and less twitchy in my hand. In The Witcher 3, pixel-perfect accuracy is less important, but you still want to make sure your sword strikes, and Witcher signs aren't firing into empty air. Combat in the game is much more about the dance, and the extra buttons proved to be very useful. The biggest thing though, was mapping dodge, sign casting, and Witcher sight, to the thumb and index finger buttons. The G502 let me create a much more natural-feeling control scheme for battles, while still leaving a few buttons open for non-combat abilities, like calling my horse. Lastly, I had to put it through its paces as an MMO mouse. It's not designed for this, but any mouse with this many buttons excites the MMO fan in me, so I loaded up World of Warcraft. Over the years, the game has streamlined its skill system, and I was surprised to see that I could map just about every ability to a mouse button. Bottom line. It's hard to find much to dislike about the Logitech G502 Lightspeed, other than the price. The classic design is ergonomic and comfortable, the weight is adjustable, and it's wireless. It has long battery life, and if you have a PowerPlay charging mat, you won't ever have to worry about plugging it in. But PowerPlay means you can't use some of the weights, which limits your customization options. It's a shame both features couldn't be fully implemented. Plus, $150 is a lot to spend on a mouse. And if you want to also opt for the wireless charging mat it supports, that tacks another $100 onto the price. But for all of this customization and comfort, you may gain a bit of an edge, and that may be worth the splurge. And for those who can't quite justify the price, but still like what the G502 Lightspeed brings to the gaming table, keep an eye out for sales. Logitech's peripherals frequently go on sale with substantial discounts.